What do you see down there below you? What's your first impression?
I'm standing on dirt.
Standing on dirt.
It's kind of bare, but like people have walked over it a lot.
How do you know they walked over?
Because we're barefoot, I think, and I'm not sinking. It's like a path we've worn. It's like red dirt.
Red dirt?
Yeah.
Very good. And you said you're walking on a path?
It's like smooth, but there's still like grooves and things, so it's like natural, I guess, versus made.
And on each side of the path, how does it look?
There's green and plants, and so I was looking towards, it's like we're walking towards a little town.
Oh.
And it's like right now I'm still thinking about the path, but I know we're going towards something.
That's very good. So you said there is also greenery, some sort of...
There is like plants. I think there's trees further away from the path, but the path isn't covered by shade. It's just smaller plants. For some reason, it's probably things that we can take with us sometimes, maybe for medicines or cooking, or we seem to know what they are.
Oh, the plants around you. Ah, very good, very good. So it seems like there is more than you over there.
Yes.
You have company?
I do. I know they're there. We do this sort of to take care of each other.
So you're a group of people.
Yes. They seem to know what the land has and what it can do for us, and we take care of it. It takes care of us.
That's very good. And you said that you're walking towards town, the town?
They thought it was a town, but it may be like tents or not structured like houses. It's like we have huts, or maybe more Indian like teepees.
So they look like that?
Yes, sort of. Yes. I don't know exactly, but it's they're made out of like things like maybe some animal skin, maybe some branches and wood pieces. I don't necessarily see them decorated or anything. It's more practical. We've used what's around us to build this place.
Oh, nice. From nature, you mean? Very good, very good.
You don't take what you don't need. You give back and think.
That's very good.
For the things we have.
So let's do this. Let's focus the attention on you a little bit first before we explore some more. And as you look down at your feet, what do you see?
My feet are dark skinned. A little dirty from walking, but not a lot. It's really, I think I'm female, and I'm sort of have like a dress made out of material from like what we make from the huts. We're decorated it. There's beads and things on it, so it's
on your dress.
Yes. I would need feels like a tribe, maybe, that I'm a part of.
And the dress, does it go all the way down to the ground? Or?
No, it's more practical than that. That would be in the way.
Long sleeve or short sleeve?
This is short sleeved. I may have long sleeved ones, but when it's colder. But these short sleeved, and my hands are tan, and my nails are short. I have dirt underneath my nails, but it's from working, not from uncleanliness. We have there's a creek that we go to.
Oh, nice. Nearby?
Clean and take, and
that's really good.
Take care of things there. We have different places for different activities along the water.
But let's zoom a little bit more into yourself and tell me more about the jewelries.
I have necklaces and bead work that we've made. It's colors. It's like things we've found, rocks and stones and wood that we've put together, and it's strung together with some sort of rope or thread that we've made or weaved.
Very good. Anything on your hand?
I think I have a piece of metal around my forearm. It's like a bracelet, but not pushed down on my wrist. It's further up on my arm.
Any significance to that comes to mind?
It's a sign like we're a warrior. Or like and even the women, we protect others that can't protect themselves in the tribe. So if someone or something tried to hurt us, I'm one of the people that I don't go out on the front lines. I stay closer, and I would protect women and children.
That's very good. And are you pretty young? Or old?
Yeah, I'm probably 20s, 30s. I have long, dark hair. And it's like, I think we put color on our skin. There's some marks that we make with different colors and stuff on our skin, and but we do it mostly. There's ceremonies that we would do that make us do more of that.
Do you have any colors on your skin now, or?
I have a black streak. It's running down the back of my hand. I think that it was given to me by someone because I protected them, and it's a mark to show other people that I helped a family. And so it's an honor.
Very
to have
good.
the mark.
Very good. And are you carrying anything right now?
Not right now. I have something strapped to my back. It's both a tool and a weapon as I need it.
Oh, how would you describe those?
It's like it's metal. It's not metal. It's like something that you could use to like move dirt and things with. It's wood, but it's very sharp. So we've put rock on the ends of it to make it easier to move the stone. Also, what I use if we're attacked.
Oh, I was wondering about that. Oh, okay.
So it's almost like a blade, but it's not used as a blade all the time. It was made with purpose to do both things.
That's very nice. And you said that you're one of the warriors, one of the protectors of the tribe. Has there been any need for that lately? What do you sense?
I think that for the most part, no. But we've sometimes had, animals or things come through, but we've also had other tribes that don't believe like we do.
Mm-hmm.
They're not nearby. They are sometimes during the year,
Right.
but not all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like a warrior shaman. Like, I help guide too. I'm not just a warrior.
Oh, and how do you do that?
I help people with things and problems. I help guide them when they're struggling or when their children need things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have children. I'm not. I feel purpose is fulfilled as being part of my tribe and taking care of them.
So let's find out a little bit more about yourself. Let's do this. Let's fast forward a little bit. And now you're in front of your home, your tent, the place that you normally sleep and eat. And tell me, how does it look? How would you describe that?
It's cozy, and I have lots of little trinkets and things around that matter to me, or that I've gathered that I feel like are useful or would help someone else. And everything, it's not messy, but it's not simple either. There's many things there. There's a pit in the center. I feel like that I burn things. Maybe, probably not to cook, but to cleanse and help people or make things to help them feel better.
Oh. So you're not only protecting them, you're helping them with plants?
Yes, there's plants and different things that we put together to, sometimes it's something they need to take back to their home. Sometimes it's to put on an injury. Sometimes it's to take away worries. It's we work together to figure out what they need.
So are you the only one that knows about the plants and how they heal? There are others like you here.
There are others I learned from someone, and they're not there now, but they helped guide me. They were very good with it, and there's others that know, but they don't see how to help others with it. So they use them for their day to day. And they may bring me things that they feel like I need, but no one is focused on healing them. And I see like symbols that we've created out of things that are there to protect us from bad things and to bring us strength and to help protect the tribe. There's symbols.
What do you see the symbols at?
There's a circle, and it's like a moon inside of it, and then there's an animal feather, and I keep thinking an owl. And it's there, and they're weaved together, and it's a protection. And many of our ceremonies are done in the evening or once the moon comes up, because that's when we feel most connected to the earth. And
that's fascinating. And what do you go of the food? Do you eat all together or do you eat separate?
We eat in groups. We often eat near the same time, or as people come back from what they're doing. People in the village make sure everybody has something to eat. No one is left with nothing. But we kind of eat as we go during the day too, because we know what we can, or if we hunt, we might have that.
So let's do this. now a meal is served and ready to eat. You can see it very clearly. Tell me about the food that you see.
There's meat, like we've cooked it over a fire, like a rabbit. There's green things. I would say it's like bean, and there's other berries and things that we've made into creams and sauces that go with it. We're happy. We're together.
So you're eating all together.
We are. There's a big group. I don't know if everybody's there, but there's a big group. There's much laughter and everybody's relaxed. The kids are there and interacting, but it's like it's just a happy, content place, and no one's angry or.
And who's in charge of the food? Who brings the food to the?
Well, everybody has a part to play. Some folks hunt and some gather. Some help cook. Some aren't good cooks, so they don't cook.
Do you cook?
I can, but it's usually I don't have much time. I'm often fed by people in the village that leave me things or invite me, or I'm expected regularly at some places. So I rarely cook near my hut.
Why are you being expected in some places? How do you normally spend your time?
There are places I feel like that I intentionally go to different parts of the village at different times to check on people or just to be near part of my routine, or maybe I'm drawn there because of what I'm feeling. Like I feel very connected to the people in the tribe, and I feel like I know when there's a reason to be in an area. They expect me. They know if something's not right, that I'll be there.
And how do you normally help? What do you see yourself doing when
Sometimes I'm just there as a presence to help someone that's either angry or lost or struggling. And I don't necessarily have to do anything. Maybe my job's just to put my hand on their shoulder or back while they figure out their path. Sometimes we talk about what might be a guide for them, or they're worried over a child or a family member, and we discuss what may need to be done, or if we all need to work together to do something to help this person or family member. Everybody needs a purpose.
Yes.
And we work to ensure they have what they need to fulfill their purpose. We're all more happy and settled when our purpose is being met. We believe that life without purpose is not what we were brought here for.
Very good, very good, very good. And do you have a family of your own, or you said that you're...
I don't feel like, for some reason, my family, I'm not with family, but the tribe is my family. They know my family, but something happened. I was alone when I was young. And it's probably partly why I became a warrior, and it's because I know hurt, and I know what it takes to make it better. Shaman don't come from peace. Sometimes they often come from a place of challenge and obstacles in their life so that they can help guide people through those things and tragedy. So something happened. I must have been very young because it's not something I know.
And then who took care of you?
I was brought in, all of the families took care of me. I could go anywhere in the village and I would have a place to sleep. And I know that I was taken care of and they made sure I had everything. It was part of, no one is not cared for. So everywhere was my home with the tribe, no matter where we were.
That's very good. Very good. As you look around, is there anything else here that's catching your eyes and you want to tell me about?
I feel like I should tell you that they gave everything and took care of me, and I in turn take care of them. And it's catching my eye. There's some sort of noise happening in the part of the village we're moving towards it, I guess.
And the noise, what's that all about?
It's a little louder than usual. How people.
So let's do this. Let's leave that scene behind and let's move forward towards the noise to understand a little bit more of what's going on here. And now you're there and you can understand and see it very clearly. What's happening?
Someone has come in, one of our people, saying that something's happening or coming towards the village, and it's made them upset to the point where people are preparing. We're not sure what's about to happen, so we have things. The children are moving towards the center and out of sight, and the group that usually goes to meet up, they go out ahead. They are leaving and the others are preparing because we don't know what's going to happen.
Did this happen before?
It's happened before. We know what to do, but you never know what's going to happen. We all have to prepare.
And you said you're gathering the children in the circle, okay.
Right.
What happens next?
So they've gone out there. I don't know what's happening. I'm still inside I don't leave the village. It's important that I'm in the village, but I'm not hidden away. And they do decide to bring people back.
From where?
They are outsiders. They're not from our tribe. Our people are bringing back a small group of them, and they're asking. They're talking. I'm not close enough to hear quite yet, but they've noticed me. I'm supposed to come forward. I'm not sure I like what's happening. I'm not comfortable. I don't know if it's because of them being in our space or if I feel distrustful.
The people that just came in?
Yes, they're not the same as us.
How are they different?
Our people are happy and have purpose. These people are not that way. They are not. They're darker. Their markings on their skin and their decorations are warrior decorations. They live as warriors. They don't live like we do. And so I'm careful with them, but they something's happened and they're coming to ask for help and they need shaman help.
Mm-hmm. But how are they different than you? How do they live different?
They've got darker skin. They wear less of the skins and clothing covering them. They've got scars on their skin that they've put there to show their warrior nature. Their belief is in the need to take what they need, and that their tribe is more important than anything else. And they're not as connected to the spirit. And I'm uncomfortable because they're asking for me to go help. And I don't want to leave my village. But I can't not help.
But why do they need help?
Something's happened. Someone attacked them. And there's people hurt, and their shaman is gone. They're asking for me to come help, but I don't believe. I'm worried I'm not going to be back. I'll never come back. And my thought is I'm going to leave with them, and I'll never see my people again.
So what do you think you should do?
I believe I don't think I have a choice, or I think I don't have a choice. There's people who need me, and even though, so I'm telling them as I gather my things that they'll be fine, and they have everything that they need, and to remember my teachings. And they're upset because they can tell I don't think I'm coming back. And it's like traumatic as I'm leaving. And they're warning the other warriors. They want to send someone with me, but I'm telling them that they should not. And that's upsetting to tribe, so I'm leaving with them by myself.
Very good. And then?
I'm going places. I've not been out of the village much. I've stayed near, and even though we moved periodically, I only know certain areas, so I'm going somewhere I'm not familiar with. There's taller trees, and their teepees are taller and thinner and more pointed, and they're kind of pushing me. I like to take my time and understand things, but they want me to hurry. And we don't speak quite the same language, so sometimes there's confusion. I'm not meaning to be slow because I'm not willing to go. I'm being slow to understand, and they think that slowness is something else that I'm trying to not go and help.
So are you close now, or where?
We're getting close. I'm starting to walk through their village. I'm trying to understand that village like I understand my own. I need to walk through it to feel it. They want me to go to a certain place. There's someone hurt.
Oh. What happened to that person?
They were, during the attack, they were injured. They were stabbed spear. And
Yes.
they want me to try to fix it. This is an important person in there.
Oh. Because you said their shaman is not there anymore.
Right. So it's like it's either a chief or a family member of their chief. And I'm supposed to go directly to them, but there's other people that need me too that are hurt, and they're trying to touch my skin and feet as I walk by, and I'm having to leave them to go to this other person, and that they they are telling me is more important.
More important. So it looks like the whole tribe got hit and
Yes.
people are hurt here, not
Yes.
only that person.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost their shaman, so they're in the
Mm-hmm.
whatever occurred. So I'm there in this teepee with the hurt person, and I'm trying to save them. There's something, but they were stabbed in their side.
Oh.
They were, and I'm trying to put things on it to heal it, but I know it's bad. There's not much you can do for the type of wound.
Do you have medicine on you, or?
I have things for pain and to help them, not feel it. I have so that we can do things to them or to put them like to smoke or what have you to make them not as aware so I can help them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling them that this is bad and they should prepare, and they don't like that answer.
Oh, sounds like it's pretty critical. It's bad.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I'm telling them that, whoever's important to this person, they should come and see them before. But it's not going to be fast. It's like, it's going to be, I'm asking if I can help other people, and they don't want me to. They want me to stay
and help this person.
Help this person.
Got it. Is that a male or a female?
It's a male.
It's a male. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And how did it get hurt? How did you?
He's strong enough to grab my wrist and tell me to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel good when he does that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I would love, I want to fix this, but there's nothing I can do. You were stabbed. There's many things inside that have been damaged that I cannot fix. And
but do you get a sense why this tribe was attacked? And
they war with another tribe. Tribes, like I said, they take things and then the other tribes retaliate, and another tribe attacked them for, I don't know why. They took something from them and they were coming back to either retaliate or get it back.
This is what they say. They don't live like you.
Right. This is not how we live. And this type of wound I've seen before, and it's not something I can fix. And no shaman can fix this. I don't think there's any medicine to fix.
So what do you think you should do?
So I'm trying to help them prepare for the loss and make him comfortable, but they don't want to hear that. And I'm being pressured and pushed to take care of him. And I'm like, I can make him comfortable, and I can try. So I'm trying things even though I know they're not gonna fix it. And I don't want to cause him more pain, but he's telling me he wants me to close the wound, and I'm like, it's going to make it worse.
Would you be able to close the wound?
Only with fire and metal, and it'll hurt. And it's like, why hurt him more when it's not going to fix the problem? It's just going to cover it up. And so I heard, I put the metal to it, they hold him down, and I close it as I'm asked. And of course, he reacts to that, and we have to scatter away from him. And I'm still supposed to stay near him as he heals, but I know he's not going to heal. So I'm stuck here with him in this area, and I'm still not. I don't know any more of the tribe or the village. I want to get out of this room.
So let's fast forward a little bit until something else is happening, and now you're there.
He's gone. I'm telling them that he's gone. They don't want to hear it. I'm scared. They are aggressive and pushing, and hitting at me, I'm asking to help or to go back to my village.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's not. I think it's not going to happen.
Oh, why not?
They're not going to let me go. I was supposed to heal him, and even though there was no way, no one could have healed him, even if they had gotten there immediately. So now I'm trying to find a peaceful center to know that they're probably going to hurt me at this point. And I'm just trying to find a place. I'm thinking about my village and the peace there, and knowing that this is it.
And then what happens after that?
I went to my peaceful place, and I think they did whatever they did, but I had left already.
How did you leave?
I'm light.
Oh, okay. So now whatever happened has already happened. You're on the other side of it, out of that life in spirit form. From this perspective, you can easily look back at that entire life. Every life has lessons and a purpose. What were the lessons you learned as you look back?
I learned that there is a way to live in peace, in harmony, and with purpose, and that you can give and take, and it doesn't have to harm. And should try to find ways to give back to the earth and people, and they'll give back to you. And that tragedy happens, but we can get through it together, and there was reason for what happened, and it's that person's journey they were on, and sometimes you can't help someone off of a certain journey. It's their path, and all you can do is support them as they go through that journey.
So as you look back at the way that you lost your life, what did they do to you?
I think that I was probably taken to the center of the tribe, like in a central place. I believe that I think what happened is I was probably stabbed, rocks thrown, things happened to that body. And then I think I died long before, but I believe they left me there, and I may have burned, but I was gone at that point. I think I knew what was happening, but I wasn't there. I left long before I was taken to the center.
Very good. And as you look back, what else did you learn from that life besides community and being strong together?
I learned that some people's path I don't understand, and I don't know, like, what would make you create a life of war and taking and retaliation, and that it doesn't. I understand that it's a different side of the coin, I guess, or the world, but that there's always going to be things that I can't understand, and that don't make sense to me in this world.
Because when they came and they asked for your help, you kind of sensed you're not gonna come back.
Yes, and they were, and I knew they weren't like us. There was something different, and I didn't understand it. And I mean, I always knew there was things in the world. I had what happened to me as a child and things like that, but I just the idea of treating people the way they do doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have battles every day. I don't want to be preparing for a battle.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's other things more worthy.
Mm-hmm. Now that you're able to look back, do you have any regrets about that life?
I think I regret that I didn't help someone else become a shaman before. I was not that old, so I had not had a chance to find someone to take care of my tribe before I left, and I felt like I needed to have done that. I think that if I could have done anything, I would have never left, but it was, for me, the path that I had as the life choices, and I went through that, and it was a courageous act on my part to do what I needed to do and honor my people.
But now that you look back, did your body ever went back to your tribe, or?
I don't think so. I think they somehow knew when it happened, and I hope they didn't feel the need to retaliate. I think maybe some of my belongings were brought back. They were tossed down, and the people somewhat ridiculed our tribe for having such a weak shaman and things. So they knew, and there was people in the tribe that wanted to retaliate, but the elders controlled the situation, and they didn't have contact with that tribe again ever. There was disrespect between them.
Sounds like it was important for your tribe to maintain the peace and all.
It was. They knew what I would have wanted. Not more. I wouldn't want a war. I wouldn't want them to be hurt.
So in a way, they respected your wishes.
Yes. It was not easy.
What else do you think you learned from that life now that you look back from this perspective?
I think I learned that you don't have to travel to find peace. You don't have to think you need to be and go everywhere, that you can find what you need in a peaceful place with good people. That you can find it within yourself, peace. So I learned that there's ways to guide from inside.
That's wonderful. Overall, what do you think was the purpose of that life?
I think I needed to learn that I could make a difference to a group of people, that I could help a group of people, and it was about just blending and being a part, and that there could be conflict, but there could be a healthy way to learn to deal with things, and that there didn't have to be constant conflict. There can be peace. And then when there's peace and something really big happens or tragic happens, you have people there. And you know what it means when that contentment feeling comes back, because it's not always easy to have that.
Very true. So now that you're on the other side, how does it feel to be out of that body?
I miss the people in the group. I miss those people. But I know I did my purpose with them, and that I made a lasting impact on how they lived.
Mm-hmm.
And they had guidance on how to move forward without me. And
Mm-hmm.
so
Very good. Very good.
I felt like I had done what I was there for.
Mm-hmm. You accomplished your mission in
I
that
did.
life. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Now let's drift away. You chose to show her this life of a shaman in a very peaceful tribe, living life as a community in unity until another tribe asked for help, and this ended up of him not being able to help that important person, and they killed him afterwards. Why was it important for her to see that life today?
She needs to know that she has the capability of bringing community together.
Mm-hmm.
She's a source of good, and she has impact on people with that.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to be more aware of it and to use it more than she has been.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that she knows.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Why did you start with the first scene as they were all walking, plants around, going towards the village, founding herself as actually a female warrior, sorry about that, in a tribe there to protect the people? Why was it important to start there?
Because she's gathering books, and she's learning about plants.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing things right now. She's doing what she should right now, even though to her it's probably confusing on why she's needing these things.
Mm-hmm.
But she's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not it makes sense to her or not, she's gathering all of her tools.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to make sense to everyone, and she doesn't need to worry about that.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So do you have any maybe specific recommendations how she can apply those tools in this life to fulfill what she's here to do?
She needs to trust when she's talking to people about crystals and the reason for clearing the air with incense and things like that. She knows what the answer is, even though she fights not understanding why she knows.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't think she sees future or visions. She doesn't think she's psychic, but her gift isn't necessarily in seeing.
Mm-hmm.
It's or visions. It's more along the lines of understanding what's needed in that moment with that person and helping them with that. And the answers will come. Like, she needs to quit worrying that she's not doing it like someone else or how someone else describes it, and just do what she's doing.
So keep continuing on the path that she's at.
Yeah, she's right there. She's right at it. She's trying. She pulls back periodically or discounts it because it doesn't seem like what everybody else would be doing, and she's never going to be doing what everybody else is doing. And the people around her that know her best appreciate that she's always doing something offbeat from everyone else. But she's happy, and she will take you with her, and she thinks humor and funny and being with people is what brings them together, and she's not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That's what draws people to her.
Because she did say, back to that life, tribe, it was her family. Tribe is my family. So she was the protector, she was the warrior, she was the shaman. Is she bringing any of those attributes in the current life?
She has periodically throughout this life, but she's not embraced it like she is now. Now she's open and considering and trying. She's no longer, before someone would have questioned why she was doing something and she might have stopped because she would have been like, well, it's not everybody else doing this, but she doesn't need to worry about is everyone else doing this. She's going to bring more peace into a place that needs it right now. She's going to think no matter how many people she touches, it's not enough, but every person she touches is enough.
Thank you for that. Now, as we moved along, it was a lot of noise coming towards the village, people asking for help, the warriors, they were not happy. She got the feeling this was going to be a one-way trip. She won't return, but her duty pushed her forward. What can you tell us about that?
She knows that sometimes you have to walk a path that you don't want to learn what lessons there are to learn from that. And now she would know that sometimes you walk to the end of your path of your life purpose, and there's a reason that you're ending that purpose. She had done what she needed to do. She had fulfilled what she needed to fulfill. And even though she didn't want to do it, she knew that it was what she was supposed to do. Her reason for being there showed a whole village what courage and what duty and what honor looked like. And they will take that into all of their lives. So she did her purpose, and no one wants to walk into a situation that they know is bad.
Right.
And she did it with her dignity and with honor, and she showed even that village that she went into what it meant to have that, and she probably changed someone's life there also.
So tell me a little bit more, how is this conveying into the current life right now?
There's so many things happening in the world that have negativity and that don't bring peace. And she knows how to do those things. She knows how to guide people through and to make happiness. She knows how to make gathering places and to bring people together. She knows that peace right there is what makes a difference between living a peaceful and happy, contented life and living a life of disjointed or unhappy or lost. And she needs to keep guiding. She plays with the idea of a church, and if that's what it needs to be in this society to gather these people together, then that's what she needs to do. She needs to not worry about what church means to society, and she needs to think more about what it means to be spiritual and close to purpose. And she will do what she needs to do to make that happen. If she needs to, establish it like a church and talk about it in that way because that's what makes people understand it, then that's what she'll do. If it's more about their own individual spiritual and wellness, then that's what she'll do. She's got tools.
How will she know she's trusting the right guidance system from you?
She feels, she'll see colors and she'll see more of like happiness in her life if she takes this pathway. It's not that she's going to ignore what's happening and things like that, but she's going to learn that her ability to create contentedness and happiness within herself is what's going to bring it to the people around her. That's her gift, is if people will listen and pay attention to her and what she's showing them, they'll gain from it too. And she doesn't need them to like worship or praise her. It's not what we're talking about. It's about just being and showing other people what being themselves can do and what a difference it makes for them, and trusting yourself. There's not always a perfect answer for a situation in this world. Right. But if they can find the path that speaks to them, and she does it, she's going to do it by walking her path. And she's going to have people around her that walk that path with her in their own way. She doesn't worry about what way they walk that path. It's not the important part. It's that they're finding their purpose. She's going to help them find purpose.
Very good. What about the last scene? The tribe, the mean tribe, ended up killing her, and she just probably, she said, I left the body earlier. She was into the light. What can you tell us about that? What do we need to understand?
They gave her the same wound that the warrior had. They wanted her to die the same way he did. We didn't see any reason for her to be there through that. That was for them. She had already done what she needed to do. To them, she was just a stoic warrior that took a punishment.
Right.
And her response to that and her peacefulness during it is what made the difference to people that were observing. They could see that the people doing that to her were not in the right, and that this peaceful woman had come to help them.
Yes.
And they had punished her. It made a change even in this tribe, that they were going down a pathway that was not as peaceful and was not as honorable as this single female that came into their life for that moment. And that she just raised her face to the sun and peacefully left what they were doing to them. It was powerful.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if they gave her the same wound as that important person. Is this being felt in the current life right now?
She feels it.
Oh.
She has the healing.
Yes.
It's where they wounded her.
Oh.
And so she's feeling that, and that was part of the way I was showing her that she was on the right path, because the path in the life that this wound came from is the path that's her guide today.
Okay. Because one of her question is, why does she feel pain on the left side when she listens to healing frequencies? This what we're talking about?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
She needs to know that she's on the right path. And this is her sign that yes, you are. And she needed to remember that this occurred so that she knows.
Right.
Because she knows this piece exists. She knows how to make this happen. And she's experienced it. Now she has to trust where she's going and that she's taking the right steps.
But now that we're remembering, does she still need this discomfort in the body, or you can help?
No, we can help. There's no reason for her to keep this pain now. And she needs to learn how to fully experience healing from and the vibrations. So we shouldn't need that any longer.
And let's do this. Let's do a body scan if that's okay. Will this be appropriate for me to ask?
Yes.
Thank you. And as you're doing the body scan, starting to the top of the head all the way down, can we take care of this problem first, the left side or whatever she was? Okay. And tell me what you're doing for healing and repairing, please.
We're just taking it away. The wound wasn't actually there. It just needs to be removed from her consciousness at this point.
And how are you doing that?
We're just warming up that area using light.
Okay.
She'll feel a little tingling there probably for a little while, but it'll go away.
It'll go away.
Yeah.
And are you using light or?
Yeah. Yeah. It's her own light. She's got it inside of her.
And how does that light look like?
It's a bright white light. It's like a little glowing orb. It probably follows her around more than likely. She keeps it. She's always got silly little stuffed animals, unicorns, rainbows, and they are all sort of a representation of her light, because she finds happiness as part of her healing.
So now as she's gonna listen to healing frequencies, this won't be a bother anymore.
No.
Okay.
No.
Thank you. Okay. Wonderful. So as you're continuing with the body scan, tell me, what do you need to stop next for healing and repairing, please?
She's got a headache and she's probably she's taking in a lot of information and she's trying to make it all fit. She's trying to go back and forth between conscious and subconscious. She's like trying everything all at once, and she just needs to calm and it'll go away. The headache will go away.
Anything you can do to help ease?
I can help ease, and I hope she knows now that she's doing the right things and she doesn't have to do it all at once. It'll come to her, and she needs to trust in it more, and the headache will kind of move away on its own. But the headaches, they're going to stay to a somewhat extent right now as a reminder when she's she doesn't get it taken completely away. The headache will let her know when she's over trying.
So we still need it a little bit as a reminder to...
It'll be better though. It's not as intense.
Okay, thank you. What else do you see?
She carries all of her tension in her shoulders. She thinks she carries everybody's tension, and she needs to let it go. And it's something I can take away, but she'll put back.
Tell me about the origin of this. What's the root core?
So, the origin of this is the fact that she's in a room of people. She'll know or notice someone unsatisfied or this or distracted. She worries about why that is. She's like trying to find a way to make peace in every situation. And she pulls it all in and holds it. And we need to find a new way to bring that in and realize it's not hers to hold.
But when was the first time that she created this?
She had to create it in this particular life in her childhood.
Okay.
Reacting to her mother and some of the situations she was in as a child, reacting to it would have made it worse. So she learned how to hold it in, but of course it made her stiffen up in her shoulders and neck. And so now, when she doesn't see a way to handle or help the situation, she uses that to hold all of that negativity. So the tighter and the more discomfort she has in her shoulders, the more she's taken on of other people and her own situation where she doesn't feel like she has the power to change it.
So what was she trying to learn from this experience?
So as she learns more, as she learns her role, she's going to find that holding that there is not what she needs to do. It doesn't help. She needs to learn to let more of it go, and she'll have less discomfort in her shoulders because it's not going to help her on the path, and it's not helping that person. They don't even know she's doing it. She's trying to take away something that's bothering them, and she's taking it on even if they're not aware.
So what will be a better coping mechanism when this is happening?
She's going to have a much better coping mechanism. As she learns how to help guide other people, she's going to use the same techniques to help herself.
So how would you advise her to let go, for example, when...
The crystals in the meditation she's doing, she some people need to sit and meditate, some people lay down, whatever. She lays down, and when she lays down to meditate, she lets it go. And it's one of the few times she lets it go. And she can help other people do that too. She doesn't think she's meditating. It's silly. She just needs to focus and do it the way that works for her and not worry about how other people describe it.
Got it. Is she ready to let go of this now?
We can help her with it. This is something she's doing to herself. So we can ease it. We can make it better. She's the one who has to learn how to not bring it all down on her own shoulders. Even the things that happened in her childhood, they were her mother's.
Right.
They were not hers. She has an innocent soul. Yes. Like, she's not bringing karma with her. She's here to be peace and to bring peace to others. And so it's very hard for someone like that to watch other people not have that same level of peace. She's got to learn that holding theirs in makes her less effective with them. So it's a give and take. She has to learn to give it up and to not take it on and realize that it wasn't helping them anyway, not in the way she thought.
Right. So tell me, how are you helping her release
I'm
this?
helping her ease her shoulder muscles right now, and she's going to remember, I think, that the reason she's pulling that tension in is not for her. It's for other people, and she can help them better in other ways than that. So she'll have some discomfort probably. Again, she'll have less the more she learns.
Thank you. And how are you helping her release this? Are you using the same as before? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a little bit of light, some vibration. Should probably, like, different vibrations will probably help her more with this in the future. I think the ones that she would feel the pain that she's tried before in her side, if she tries those in the evenings, it'll help. So she just needs to keep trying. She's not going to have as many blockages to that type of healing now that she did previously.
Very good. And is she sensing or feeling anything as you're releasing this from her shoulders?
She is. She can tell that one shoulder is more relaxed than the other, and she's fighting me on the right side, and she may have to work on that herself.
And tell her how, please.
For her, it's going to be the more she accepts her path and the more she learns, and she learns to help others, she'll learn to give up this piece on her own. But it's similar to the headache. If her headache is bad, she knows why. If her shoulders hurt, she knows why. And it's going to be somewhat of a signal for her. So if I take it completely away, then she will not remember.
Got it. Okay, thank you. But how will she feel after you're using?
She's going to feel good after this. Now she can choose to build it back up.
Okay.
But she also has the choice to not. So.
Got it.
Yeah. These are the things she needs to work with. You don't have happiness without pain sometimes. You wouldn't know it if you saw it.
Right. Okay. So you're working on her shoulders. How's the headache? Is it good? It's better?
Yeah, it actually is good.
Good. Okay. And what else? What else do you see in the body?
She often has pain in her hands and like down her legs.
What's causing that?
More confusing to explain. She needs to be doing things with her hands, and when she's not, she's feeling pain. It's almost like she's blocked herself from doing what she needs to do. At the time in her life when this occurred, she was very controlled, was needing to protect herself or feel protected, and so she quit doing many of the things that brought her peace and joy.
Is this childhood?
No, this was during her marriage. And she needed to, like, she was learning that she had gotten herself into a situation and she was trying to determine how to get herself out. She was very isolated at this point, which is for a person that needs people.
Yes.
That was, so it was like everything inside of her is tightened up and constricted, and she couldn't show it because that gave more power to the person that was mentally and emotionally abusing her. So she couldn't show her reaction. She had to hold them tight. And she basically triggered this body to punish her for that, I guess, is the best way of doing it. And we, this again, as she does more, she's going to feel more. We can take much of it away. And again, many of these are signs for her. It's not something I can take completely away because it helps guide her. And there's no good spiritual guide that hasn't gone through pain. You have to understand what other people are going through in their lives and what it feels like to be the guide they need.
So how is this manifesting in the body though, this pain?
Usually she'll have like swelling in her hands and possibly her feet. Her knees or her hips will hurt. That was where she was tense when she was protecting herself, and that's where she feels the most pain. And the more she is herself, the more open she is, the less pain she's going to feel. And she's already healing herself in many ways, and we can help her with that. She will not forget this.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So is this what we call rheumatoid arthritis here? Oh,
yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Because she wanted to know if there are any past experiences or emotional events that contribute to this.
Yes, the need to feel like she had to protect herself from something or someone close to her that, if you think about it, a person near you that you live with, you would want them to be someone that brings you joy and happiness, not the need to constantly protect yourself from verbal or other barbs being thrown at you. So she held it in because she was smart enough to know that meeting that person in that same place was not going to fix the problem.
Got it.
She was going to escalate it to something that would have been catastrophic and non-needed. And so she did not react in that way. She slowly extricated herself.
Got it. So what was she hoping to learn overall from this experience?
I think, in the way that I'm seeing her is that she needed to know what pain and types of pain are so that she can help other people with pain. Because sometimes if you don't, as a human, if you don't know it yourself, you can't help somebody else through it. It's almost like it doesn't exist to you because you don't feel it, then you can't understand why someone else is feeling it. So much of this has been it was triggered for protection of herself, but it's being leveraged and used in her growth to show her that
I see.
Other people have pain and it's a certain way, and you aren't here to judge that pain. You're here to help.
Yeah, because I was wondering, she's not in the same marriage anymore. Her life circumstances are quite different now, and you're saying that this is still needed for her somehow.
I think it's less needed than it was. She's learning to protect herself in different ways before. She's using her peace.
Okay.
Like when someone gets upset or yells, she puts a stop to it and says, you don't need to do that with me. And so she's learning too that she's choosing her family. Her family is by choice. Her family and her tribe are by choice. They're not by blood necessarily. She knew this from a prior life. She doesn't have to have regular contact with people that treat her that way. She was brought into this life to become that person again, that shaman that brings light. We need people with light in them here now. And she chose to come to be that. And she will have some pain, but it's not going to be, it's a reminder pain. It's not going to be debilitating that way it has been. We can help with that.
Thank you. But I'm thinking what it will take for you guys to help her release completely this issue. What does she need to understand now, for example, to just get it over with?
Yeah, I mean, she needs to know her mission. She needs to realize why she came here.
Okay.
And if she does, then she can let it go.
Tell me, let's talk about the mission then. Because this is one of our questions. What is the underlying purpose or mission?
Well, she's going to help other light workers. She's going to help them remember why they're here. And like, she's found a book recently and she's been reading up on it about Akashic.
Right.
And she needs to continue that path. And because once she unlocks that, she's going to not need the pain anymore.
Okay.
This was part of what she came here to learn. Is the reason there's so much darkness and strife here now is because there's not enough light. And to come into a dark place and bring light, you have to know the dark place.
Right.
So she's walked quite a path for someone who only wants to bring peace to the world. You would think that they could just do it naturally, just come and bring peace. But people need to know someone in this world. They need to know that someone's felt what they felt or learned from the same lessons they've learned from before they listen sometimes. And she's gathering people around her right now that have had many different experiences and different traumas. And so if she's not the right guide, she's got the people around her to help guide.
That's very good. So what can you do to help her though release this then?
As she learns more about her course, I think that the pain is going to go away naturally. We can only heal so much. She hurts herself sometimes, and like I could take all of her pain away in her shoulder.
Wonderful, thank you.
Yes, and I can do that. She has to learn not to put it back.
Right.
And that's part of the challenge with her is she'll put it back if and so sometimes it's better with her to leave a piece so that she remembers why. So yeah, and I think you talked before we came in here about the pain she had in the last few years and what she went through, and it was really to try to get her to wake up to what we had asked her to do.
Okay.
I mean, like, she obviously needs a lot of pain to see where we were. She needed to get back on track. Right. And she was, so, she does not need it again. Like, we can take most of it away, but she needs the reminders because she worries about other people so deeply that without it, sometimes she forgets why she's here.
Got it. So. But I'm thinking a body will function so much better, and I see your perspective, but the body will function so much better without this arthritis, especially if it's kind of like all over in the body, the knees, the hips, the hands. So tell me, what are you using to help her, and what do you see as you're doing that?
It can become just a reminder instead of a constant.
Okay.
She currently has to use a lot of energy to control her pain levels through the day or ignore them. And if she's aware and she's ready to do her path, then it's not as needed to remind her. And so it can just be, something that she gets a twinge every once in a while, but it doesn't have to be the constant pain she's felt.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Okay.
Yes, we can do that.
Okay, wonderful. And as you're doing it, tell me, what do you see is changing and what will she see afterwards?
She's probably, it's like going down her hands and fingers. She's probably feeling light and vibration. As we try to take it away, she she's done this for years. There's some damage there that we can take care of, and some that'll be there as the reminder, but it will not be to the same level it has been. She's probably feeling us going down her hips, and we'll go all the way down her legs, to her feet.
And you're using the same light as before?
Light and vibration. She's getting close to a vibration that will bring her constant feeling of wellness and good. She's just learning to tap into it, though. So the more she does that, the better she will feel.
Wonderful. And tell her what steps can she align herself towards a healthier body, if she wants guidance on this specific path.
She needs to not worry about weight and just be. She needs happiness in her life. She needs to bring it in, and part of like what she eats, how she eats with a group, and enjoying herself, the feeling of connection. All of those things are going to give her energy. Yes, she still needs her downtime. She needs to recharge.
Right.
She's like a little battery that runs all day long and then collapses at the end of the night. She doesn't have to be. She'll learn how to tone that down to where she doesn't feel so exhausted in the evenings. But right now she tries to be a light all day long, and she is then very low batteried in the evenings, and so she feels more fatigued and more things, and it's very hard for her to not feel fatigued by the evenings and such. So if she continues with the meditation she's doing, with trying the different hertz and sounds and vibrations, and she's got bowls and she's got different things and tools, she needs to start learning how to use them to help her. And as she does, she'll have less and less pain.
Got it. So in order to align herself with her true calling, free, quiet time, you said singing, vibrations, what else can she do?
She needs to let go of anything she sees as a mistake in her past. She anytime she raises her voice or says the wrong thing, she feels like it's a wound. She needs to quit worrying about that. She needs to just be herself. And sometimes herself is not going to fit where everybody expects her to be, and she needs to do it. It's actually very simple. She needs to be herself, and she needs to quit worrying about what everybody else is thinking while she's doing it. And she's been, in this life in particular, she's been held back more. She's had more pushing against her than ever before.
And why was this needed?
This was needed because there's more happening in the world than ever before. When she was here before, there was less constant noise. People were more segregated and didn't hear news all the time, didn't have so much negativity coming at them. So in this life, she's had to learn what it's like, and she started learning it as a child, that there's this constant bombardment. So she had to learn how to be a light even with the bombardment.
Got it. So thank you for that. How is the body doing now that you've been?
She's feeling pretty good. She still has a little twinge in her shoulder. We're going to fight. We'll continue to give it away, but her everything else on her hips and legs and hands are better.
Okay. Any lifestyle changes, habits, patterns she needs to look into or change to keep the healing going?
She's naturally doing most of it. She needs to just eat when she's hungry and not worry about it. She needs to find joy in what she's eating, pay more attention to it versus doing it while she's doing 20 other things. But it's not so much about what she's eating, but what she's carrying.
Okay.
So if she can learn what to carry and what to not carry with her, she's going to feel physically and emotionally and mentally better than what she is. But like every single time she hears a story about someone and what they're going through,
yes,
she can't take it all on for them. She's got to, if she's going to heal them, she needs to help heal them and then release it.
And how will that look for her? What do you want her to do to release it?
So once she's had a situation like that, she may need to take 10, 15 minutes, use her incense or crystals, her meditation, and let it go. Find herself again, yes, and let go of what they're doing. Because as they leave, they're not carrying her. They're carrying a piece of her life. They're not carrying her burden. She tries to take on their burden.
Right.
She can't do that.
It's not hers to carry, huh?
No. Okay. And she's going to feel better and better as she learns to do that. Like, I can heal her, but she has to continue it.
Right.
She has to be the one to keep it from continuing to happen. I can't take away her bad habits of taking on everyone else's burdens.
True. Anything else in the body that needs your attention today?
No, there's nothing that I'm extremely worried about or that will cause her concern. She probably will start to feel she'll feel better. There may be ability to remove some medications in the future, but it'll be a slow process. She pulled all of this onto herself for 50 years.
Right.
And she's going to slowly let it go, and she'll be the healthiest 70-year-old ever.
Wonderful.
But she's in control of that.
So tell her, please, how can she strike a balance between her corporate responsibilities and her personal well-being then?
She knows she's going to have to walk away from corporate at some point.
Okay.
She's doing a good thing. She's leaving good footsteps. She's teaching people as she goes. But there's corporations and that situation, that's not where she's going to finish her journey, and that's not where she's going to find what she's looking for. But it's gotten her to a place to where she's able to do these things, and she's going to feel very concerned when she makes the choice to finally leave, but she's going to have what she needs, and she's always worried about feeling safe.
Right.
Because that was something she didn't always feel in this life. And so her biggest concern is going to be am I going to be safe, be able to take care of myself and my people?
Right. Is there a time frame that you advise her to leave the corporate
job? I would say it'll happen in the next 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
She is, and she's learning right now. She's had a very tough 2 or 3 weeks, and she's learning right now that to balance what she's learning outside of corporate life and what she is. She's making space for what she is in corporate life, and it's caused some disruption because it's hard to be two different people.
Right.
And so she's being more and more her light in that environment, and it's not what people are expecting. She is coming in and showing them that they can do what needs to be done and not worry about how it's seen or who saw it. Just do the right thing. She's doing the right thing,
right.
And she'll be better when she's out of it. It'll take her a few years. She'll back out of it, and then she'll feel safe enough to step out, and she's going to have left goodness behind her to the best of her ability.
Right. So can you maybe provide some guidance on specific path or career that she would align perfect with her life purpose?
She thinks she's more involved in the retail and mystical pieces of the business. She'll probably be more involved with the healing portion of the business that her and her friends are working on. It's the path that she needs to be on. Now, which one she decides to go towards, she's a very good healer, so she could take many different paths, or maybe she'll take some of all of them and make her own, but it's going to be something I don't think she's encountered yet. It could be more around the Akashic records, and how she uses that with Reiki and other types of healing with people. She's very aware of scents and the peace that certain smells and things can bring to people, and how to help them relax and let things go and talk through things with people. And just sometimes all a person needs is to remove the burden.
Right.
And she can do that. So I think that's where she will most likely find her most satisfying pathway.
So what would you say are her unique talents and abilities that she's meant to share with the world?
She needs to just be that little light that she is. It's not really a little light. Let me explain that better. She is a light worker. She is here to connect with other light workers and to help bring peace to the area of the world that they're in. And they're never going to think they're doing enough. And they burn themselves out. And we have to watch our light workers to make sure that they stay healthy, because they will not take care of themselves. And she has a tendency to do that. And she's going to find whatever pathway she needs to in this world to be that light worker that they need. If they want to call it Reiki or Akashic or whatever they want to call it, she can do those things. But it's mostly going to be her and what she brings. So her gift is light. I don't think there's another good word for her.
Okay, thank you. That's beautiful. So, moving on to her questions, what lessons or challenges she's meant to learn from her experience within the corporate environment?
She's learning there's good and bad there. She's learning a lot about how to drive her own business.
Right.
And she's going to have people around her that have better skills in this than her. But what she brings is she helps people come to their own answers. So often she she discounts how powerful her ability just to get people to see how they can improve things is. So her team always looks like they're doing them little minor miracles to everyone else, when in reality, in their minds, they're just doing the right thing. And that's what she's going to continue to bring. And she's teaching other people, whether she sees it or not. They watch what she's doing, and these people are open to this. They're good people. It's very different than what she worked in prior. They really do want to help people in their core. And she's going to be drawn to those people that help do that. And when she walks away, she's going to walk away leaving her new little tribe in a place to take care of themselves. She's doing what she said she should have done.
Right. So
in her prior life, she's putting the effort in to make sure there's others that can do what she's doing when she leaves.
Oh, that's wonderful. Good to know. Thank you. I forgot to ask you about her weight. What's the causing of that? She feels she's overweight.
It's a protection. It's she was feeling a lot of pain, and there's medications and things involved, and people believe when they're older that they can't lose weight and all of this nonsense. And she's heard it drummed into her, so in her head she's heavier than she actually is.
Right. But when was the first time that she needed protection, the need of protection, and this started to become
very early? Very early. She,
tell me,
when your mother is challenging to you, when you could either deal with that as a small child, or you could eat something instead, you change to what's more easy to do, because challenging an adult. So she learned very early to protect herself, and she's never really been that horrible of an eater or anything, but it was more like a layer of protection she put around herself from people's harsh words. She doesn't have loads of defenses.
Right.
And when someone hurts her, she usually gets cut pretty deep because she didn't expect it.
Right. Does she still need this protection, or?
She has more people that will protect her and stand between her and those things now than ever before. And she's, of course, giving these protectors light in return. So she doesn't need it. She's okay. And if she just breathes and meditates and lets it go and doesn't worry about it so much, and don't worry that there's age and all of this involved, you're going to find what you need, and it's not going to be needed as much anymore. She's going to have what she needs.
Anything you can do to help her today shed the extra weight that she thinks it's needed?
I think my main thing is to tell her that she's accepted as she is, and she doesn't have to worry about it the way she does, and she wants to be what everybody needs her to be, and she just doesn't know how to not.
Right.
So she's as she needs to be. Then she needs to quit worrying about how that may look to other people.
Gotcha. Thank you. What specific habits or behaviors she needs to change immediately to improve her overall well-being?
She needs to continue to meditate and put time in for that. She needs to, she's gathering the books, she's gathering books and recordings and all of these things, and she's got everything she needs around her, and the other things are coming that she needs. It's a lot of information for her to take in at once.
Right.
And she'll know how to use it. But she has to, I think the immediate thing she has to do is just trust in it and let it go. Quit trying to worry it into existence. And so if she can do more of that and be that light being without taking on every burden, she's going to be fine.
Thank you. Does she need to make any adjustments on her daily routine to align with her higher purpose and intention?
She's doing many of the things. She just needs to do more of it. She needs to, in her quiet time, use her sounds and her meditation. She's no longer going to have the pain in her side, which was probably blocking some abilities. I mean, that's, to me, those are the things that are going to make the biggest change for her. And giving herself room for that. She just needs to be. She doesn't let herself just be. And others sometimes won't let her either. And they've always got stuff they need, or time, or this or that. And she's learning to say something in her head right now that she should remember. And that is, she has plenty of time and she has what she needs.
Wonderful. Thank you. Are there any emotional patterns or thought processes she should work on and change to create a more positive and fulfilling life?
We talked briefly about the fact that she continues to worry about things that had happened, or if she's making bad decisions, and through the marriage, the family situation, things that have happened at work, and she needs to just let it go. There's nothing that would be more powerful for her than knowing that she made those mistakes or did those things, or people did things to her to help her get to here. And that she's making more of the right steps in the right direction than she ever has at this time. And the more she does, the better she's going to feel, the healthier she's going to be. And the less twingy headaches and shoulder pain she will need to remember that she's on the right path. She's going to be more aware of what those signs mean now, which is going to make a tremendous difference in how she feels.
Oh, that's perfect. So besides everything we talked about, is there any other unresolved issues or emotions that we need to look into and confront and heal immediately, she asks?
I think she just needs to give from her heart. She's learned to protect it. She needs to know it's not going to be injured every single time something happens, and that it's a part of her life.
Right.
And the more she worries about protecting it or showing it, the harder it is going to be for her to go on this journey. So she needs to not block herself in that way. She needs to trust. She needs to trust that she's protected and that she's loved and has what she needs.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you for that. Now, are there any past life connections that are influencing her current experiences and challenges in love and relationships?
She has many people, friends, family. She is going to find what she needs on her journey, but it may not always be what she expects, and she should be open to that. I don't think she's missing anything right now that she needs. And she's in a place where she's growing. In the future, she'll she'll find someone that matches her energy and her mindset, even though they're going to be approaching things from different ways, but they're going to be important, and she'll get to them when it's time.
So no other past lives connections are influencing?
No. She's been a light being and a light worker her whole life. She chose to come to bring light the first time she came, and she tries her best to not impact other people's in a negative way. There's nothing she's done or needs to clear up to get there. She just had a lot happen to her this lifetime.
Why did you choose that family? Missouri farm, quiet.
Yeah, it was really to learn. I think part of it she was drawn to was because she had been in a small village before, and that called to her. But life in this time frame is very different than then. She knew she needed to experience challenge. I don't think she realized how much ambivalence there can be towards someone. It's such a different thought process from her own.
Right.
She also had a strong person there with her that has walked alongside most of her life with her brother.
Oh.
And that was important for her. Her other brother's also important, but he has a path that's going to take longer for him.
So that's Craig, right?
Yeah, Craig. Yeah. He's coming around. She's always had this vision in her head of this community where everyone has their place, but in the center of this community there's a place that they all go to meet and socialize and spend time together. I think she's trying to recreate her tribe in a way, because that's what she visualizes when she thinks of this all coming together, and she's bringing these people together. It'll be a bright light. She's found a way to try to move towards that, and she's got people around her, and she's meeting new people right now that have made a huge difference. And she's learning that she doesn't have to know someone for 20 years to trust them, that she can trust them from what they bring to her light. She'll recognize them.
That's wonderful. Thank you. So we talked about keeping give it from the heart, don't block yourself. She wants to know if there are any unresolved emotions or past traumas that are impacting her ability to connect with others on a deep level.
Her mother and her marriage were very traumatic to her. Yes. They isolated her, and she was told regularly, in some way or another, that she was wrong or not right, or wasn't perfect, or wasn't this, or wasn't the right weight, or and she's carrying all of that as a weight, and it's what she needed on this journey, but she's got to. This is something we've got to let go, and I can help with some of it, but she also has to not rebuild it once it's fixed, because she's let it go mostly before. And then something will happen and she walks back into that space. And I don't think that's going to occur again. So I can help with this, but she chose those connections to learn from, not to live to live through at the moment, but not to live her entire life through.
So tell me what body part is being affected by this weight that she carries, and what you want her to do from here on not to attract the same.
The weight that she carries is in her shoulders and hands mostly, and she's going to know and be able to release that tension if she pays attention to the signs that she's carrying it at this point, like tightness, the swelling, things like that. If she responds to those and goes into the now and releases whatever she's thinking at that time, then she's not going to find them to be as difficult as she has in the past. She's often thinks that she has to sit and like come to a resolution to the situation she's remembering, and she is not going to find resolution to those situations. There was no resolution that would have changed what she went through. There was nothing she could have done, said, or different.
So it was just meant to happen anyway.
They were meant to happen, and that trauma from those things, they're there. It's helping her be better at what she's going to be doing, but her challenge is to not let that overwhelm her again. So she won't feel it. It's like she has, as we've been saying, she's going to feel better, but she can also accidentally trigger it if she's not paying attention.
So what are you doing to help her release this, and tell her exactly how can she prevent it once it's showing in her life?
If it starts to show more than just a twinge, then it's going to be like she needs to take time for herself. She may need to go away or spend time with just her and her animals or plants or whatever she needs to gather around her.
Yes.
She doesn't necessarily have to leave the place she's at. She just needs to not be inundated, like no corporate, no job, no whatever it is that she's carrying.
So remove herself from that circumstance.
Herself.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. And how can you help her release this from the shoulders and the hands?
She's barely got any there right now. She's feeling heat and tingling in her hands right now.
What are you using?
It's mostly just thought and energy vibration. So that's how she's feeling tingly. And it's going to probably tingle for the next little bit. This is where she hurt the worst, across her knuckles. And so she's probably going to feel it for a little bit of time, because it's one of those wounds that didn't happen all at once.
It's a build-up.
It was a build-up, yes. And so it's unwinding things for quite some time. Her shoulder almost was like an injury. She's carried it for so long.
Thank you so much. What qualities should she seek in a partner that aligns with her highest and good and growth?
She needs someone who she likes strong people around her, because she's strong, but she does need some protection, and she'll have to accept that protection. The likelihood she's going to be with someone who doesn't feel some need to protect her is very low. She's used to protecting herself. And they're going to have to make sure they don't overwhelm her with it, and they still give her the room she needs to be herself. But mostly she's got to accept that someone may actually be there for her. She's so used to being there for everyone else that she doesn't always. It's going to be a very big mind shift for her to consider that someone's there for her instead.
Now, you said earlier that she can just take a break, release herself from the situation, and go with her animals. She wants to know a little bit more about her sweet animals. What can you tell us about them?
They are what keeps her connected while she goes through corporate and other types of things. They're always with her. I think she's called them her excuse sometimes to do something else, but they know when she's feeling bad. And they can unintentionally take on her pain if she's not careful. So she needs to also remember that her managing her pain and her symptoms will also help them, because she's drawn animals towards her that also bear burdens if she's not careful. So she needs to think about that. Her emotions impact her little partners in crime.
Okay, thank you for that. Now, what do you advise her she do to enhance her spiritual growth and connection with you, the high self?
The meditation, the vibration, she needs to spend more time out in nature. She's had this skin. Her skin gets red every once in a while and irritated because outside she was burned in a prior life in that body. But she should, use what she needs to do it. But she needs to be grounded, like connected to the earth and plants and animals and spend time in those environments. It's very easy to not make time for those things, and the more she does of that, the healthier her body and she will feel, and the more refreshed, less fatigued.
Anything you can do to help to ease this burn issue that's coming from that past life?
Yes, we can help with taking that away. It came back more recently. I think she's been more aware of her past, and that's what triggered it showing up. She's not had that much recently, so that's the skin challenge can be removed. She doesn't need to remember.
Appreciate that. And how will this play out from here on?
She just needs to. It's very dry here. She has the items she needs, and she may need to try a few different creams, this and that, but it doesn't have to be super expensive. It's going to be just more to keep her from drying out in the sun. She needs to be in it.
Got it. Are there any messages from her guides or you, the high self, that she should be aware at this moment?
We're here as your protection too. Like, you're not here by yourself, and we'll help. And she just needs to know that we're always with her. She talks to us in the mornings now when we come back, and she lets us know that she needs to be fully awake, and that we need to let her wake up. And so she's more aware of us. She's talking to us.
Yes.
And the more she talks to us, the more we will be able to talk back to her. And she'll be more aware of it. It may not always be voices or things, but she should look for colors. A lot of color, rainbows, and it's us.
Mm-hmm. Wow, thank
We've
you.
been there the whole time.
What step can she take to manifest her goals and desires more effectively?
She's always trying to figure out how instead of just asking. And she's at a place in her life, and she's at the place where she's doing what needs to be done. She just needs to ask for what she needs. It's gonna come, and she worries that she's putting bad karma into the world, asking for wealth or things like that, because it seems greedy versus useful, but it's where she's going to use that that matters. And then she worries, I believe, on that it's going to cost her more in the end. And this isn't a karma situation. It's a goal to bring more light into the world for all of us right now. She's only came when she's been needed. She's not been coming on a regular basis. So she comes when the light is most needed.
And this life was all about that.
Yes, there's much happening right now. There's too much darkness. There's too much anger, and the world needs as much light as possible. And there's going to be different kinds of light. Sometimes her light and another light worker's is different, and they'll recognize each other. But it's but then she'll meet people like her too, and you know, it'll be the kind of light she understands. But she's open to any of it if she lets herself be.
God, we kind of speak the same language, don't we?
Yes. Exactly.
Are there any talents or abilities that she possesses but have not yet fully been explored or developed at this point in time?
She likes she's got all kinds of tarot cards and all kinds of things around her. She knows they have potential, they're instruments to help. I don't think she actually needs them to help. But you use whatever you need for whatever the person you're trying to help needs. And but they also put her mind at ease, having those things near her. And the more at ease she is, the better she is at finding the pathway. So she needs to not worry. She has the cards, she has a set with her almost all the time, and if she wants to get out and play with them and they soothe or what have you, then she should do that. It'll also bring people towards her, and she shouldn't worry about it. It's not something to hide. And she's figured that out recently too, like just having the conversations with her brother and her friends that she wouldn't have had previously. She's starting to let her light shine through.
Beautiful. Now she wants to know if you can provide any insights into relationships she has with specific people in her life and what she can learn from them.
She's got people around her that are fulfilling their contracts also. She has a builder who is very good at putting things together. She has a creator that, if he learns to trust himself more, can make worlds out of nothing. And she has a new light coming in that is just being herself is part of her gift, and it'll help her match that light. So she has people and friends, a network of people that are all the different pieces she needs to create what she's looking to create. And she's got, it's a journey, and she's walking towards it, and she's on the right path. It took her a while to find it, but now that she's on it, she's drawing the people she needs to her.
So the new light, is that Janet?
Yes, yes. Janet and her are very different, but very light driven. And the two of them together will be good. They will help different types of people. They will find ways to make it work together. They're drawing light workers to them. Yeah.
And who's the builder and the creator?
Michael's the builder. He needs to build something, or he's not. That energy goes into something else that won't be as useful. And Eric's a creator.
Right.
Creates infrastructures and things, and he's stuck right now. He needs to either age or grow or but whatever he needs. He's going to maybe come and go periodically, but he's always going to be back because it's going to be what he needs, but he still has a path.
Got it.
He's walking.
Thank you. Now, can you provide insights into her soulmate connections? How many soulmates does she have, and what roles do they play in her life?
She has people that are very near and dear to her that she connects with. There's at least 6 or 7 right now that she has a strong connection to. She, I think, thinks a soulmate as someone more intimate than maybe that is. And she's going to find that later. Possibly, it's going to be the path she chooses to walk and their path. So there's decisions to be made, but she'll have one person that is able to meet her level of light, and she'll know it. It'll be very quick for them to know, and but she needs to be ready. She has some healing and work to do before she's ready for that. She's learning from all of these other lights that she's working with now and that are in her life.
Is there a time frame for that person to show up in her life?
It's gonna be because of the business that's being built, and it's gonna be as she makes the hard decision to leave her career.
Right.
So it's a few years.
Okay. Thank you. How is the body doing now? Is it better, healthier?
Yeah, it's relaxed. She feels pretty good.
And the healing?
She may feel some tingling for the rest of the day on her hands and feet and legs, but it's all being resolved. And now it'll be helping her keep it from
ignite her.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I could have asked on her behalf and I didn't that you'd like to mention at this time?
she's very curious. She's trying to learn. She may ask you questions in the future. And so there may be connections in the future with her in different pathways that she could go. But I feel like that there's nothing that we haven't talked about that she's not aware of or figured out. She's got to stay, she's got to just continue to do what she's doing right now, and the right things are going to happen. I don't think there's more that you could have asked.
Now, when she contacted me for this session, it was through Michael, obviously. What did you hope it will be accomplished here today?
It triggered what I hoped. She started listening to the book. She started being more aware. She was gathering things already, but she was not in tune with them at that time. She listened to the book.
Dolores's book?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and it, like, for the first time in a long time, she knew a spiritual connection that she had denied for some time, and she started to be more aware of where she should have been going with her life, and why she was here, and the contract she had made, things that she had never even heard of, like Akashic records and things, started popping up. She's almost hearing and learning about more things than she can take in right now. And that's why I don't think there's anything to add besides that each one of these paths she should spend time on and learn more and listen to me.
Right.
We're talking to her.
Now, what do you think it will surprise her the most about what it was said here today?
I think that she's a light worker. I don't think she knew what she was. And I think she often downplayed her type of reason for being here. I think she sees herself as a light in a universe, and within the source, and doesn't think of herself as something that impacts others. She's just one in her mind here. And she doesn't see herself as more or less important than anybody else. So I think that will probably be the most surprising thing to her. And it'll probably challenge her to think more holistically about things, because it's going to make her see that she's bigger than what she thought, more important.
Thank you. Now, will it be important to listen to the recording of this session, and how often would you advise it?
It will be important that she listen to this. She's going to learn new things every time she hears it, and she'll learn to listen for other signs. I would say she's going to probably put it away for a little bit, but within the next few weeks she'll listen to it again, and I would say that if it's not monthly or every 6 weeks, she's going to at least listen to portions of it again.
And how will that impact her?
It's going to keep awakening her. It's going to remind her when she's feeling shoulder or hand pain, or things are going, or she's unsure. It's going to make her feel more confident in her path. This is not a path many people walk or take. And so she's not going to have many examples to follow. That's why I think she may ask you questions and others like that in the future, because she's curious in that way. And she knows that each light worker had to definitely go through certain steps and situations to realize their gift fully. So she will be interested to learn more.
Very good. Thank you. You've been most helpful. Are there any parting advices for Lori today before I close the session?
Trust and listen. Also meditate and use your vibrations and whatever you get those from, and know that it's your individual gift, it's not going to be like everyone else's necessarily, and that's what makes it a gift.
Wonderful.
And that's what makes putting light workers together is powerful.
Thank you. Are we complete today?
Yes.